The first time I saw banana ketchup, I thought someone was playing a joke on me. I was standing in a small sari-sari store in a sleepy Philippine town where roosters crowed like they were late for an audition, and the air smelled like fried garlic and motorbike exhaust. I had just arrived from the United States 2 weeks earlier, still jet-lagged, sunburned, and convinced that I understood food culture because I once lived off Trader Joe's frozen meals for an entire year. There it was on the shelf. A bright red bottle with a cheerful label that said, banana ketchup. I picked it up. I turned it around. I checked the ingredients. I checked again. Banana, ketchup. My American brain froze. In my country, ketchup is sacred. It is tomato-based. It is red. It goes on burgers, fries, and the occasional questionable meatloaf. It is not made from fruit that monkeys eat in cartoons. It is not sweet. It does not involve bananas in any way, shape, or philosophical discussion. I looked at the store owner, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and an apron that had seen better decades. "Is this real?" I asked. She laughed like I had just told her the best joke of the week. "Of course," she said. Very tasty. That was the moment I realized I was no longer in America. Later that evening, I found myself at a family dinner. Plastic chairs, a long table. Rice piled like small mountains. Fried chicken, pancit, grilled fish, and a bottle of banana ketchup placed proudly in the center like it deserved a medal. A little boy reached for it and squeezed a generous amount onto his chicken. I watched in horror. In my head, a narrator spoke. This is it. This is where reality breaks. I leaned over to the woman next to me and whispered, "Does it taste like bananas?" She smiled. "No, it tastes like childhood." That answer confused me even more. I finally tried it. I dipped a piece of chicken into the red sauce, fully expecting my taste buds to file a formal complaint. Instead, it was good. Not just acceptable. Not just edible. It was sweet, tangy, comforting. Familiar in a way I couldn't explain. It tasted like ketchup, but softer, friendlier, less aggressive. Like ketchup that wanted to be your friend, not dominate your fries. That night, I learned my first important lesson about banana ketchup. It's not about bananas. It's about history. Most Americans don't know this, but banana ketchup exists because tomatoes once didn't. During World War II, the Philippines faced shortages. Tomatoes were scarce. Imports were disrupted. People had to adapt. Filipinos looked around, saw bananas everywhere, and did what they've always done best. They improvised. They mashed bananas, added vinegar, sugar, spices, and food coloring to make it look familiar. What started as a necessity became a tradition. What started as survival became comfort food. In America, we romanticize resilience in documentaries. In the Philippines, resilience ends up on your plate. Over the next few weeks, I noticed something else. Banana ketchup wasn't just for kids. Adults used it proudly. No shame, no irony. No apology, fried chicken, banana ketchup, hot dogs, banana ketchup, eggs, banana ketchup, leftover rice at 6 a.m., banana ketchup. I asked a local man why they didn't just switch to tomato ketchup now that it was available. He looked at me like I had asked why people still hug their mothers. "This is what we grew up with," he said. "Why change?" That sentence hit me harder than expected. In America, we're obsessed with upgrading. New phone, new sauce, new trend. We replace things the moment something better comes along. But here, better wasn't the point. Familiar was. One afternoon, I visited a public school where kids were eating lunch from metal containers. Rice, fried egg, hot dogs sliced like little octopuses. And there it was again. Banana ketchup. I sat next to a girl who couldn't have been more than 8. "Why do you like it?" I asked her. She thought carefully, then said, "Because my mom likes it." That was it. No food critic explanation, no flavor profile. Just love passed down in sauce form. I started noticing how food in the Philippines was never just food. It was memory. It was family. It was survival disguised as sweetness. Back home, Americans debate food endlessly. Organic versus non-organic. Keto versus vegan. Is this ethical? Is that authentic? We label, divide, and judge. Here, food wasn't trying to impress anyone. It was trying to feed people. One night, during a power outage, we ate dinner by candlelight. Rice again. Always rice. A simple meal. Someone passed the banana ketchup, and for the first time, I squeezed it onto my plate without thinking. That's when I realized something strange. I had stopped questioning reality. I had accepted it. Banana ketchup became normal, comforting, expected, and somewhere between my third plate of rice and the sound of laughter, echoing in the dark, it started to feel like home. I thought about America, about how we often associate poverty with lack. But here, people had less money, fewer conveniences, and somehow more warmth. Banana ketchup wasn't just a condiment. It was proof of adaptation. Proof that creativity thrives under pressure. Proof that something weird can become beloved if it serves a purpose. I asked an elderly woman once if she preferred banana ketchup or tomato ketchup. She smiled and said, "When we were young, we had no choice. Now we have choice. And I still choose this." That sentence stayed with me. Choice isn't always about abundance. Sometimes it's about loyalty. As an American, I was taught that progress means leaving the old behind. That modern is better. That imported is superior. But banana ketchup told a different story. It said, we survived with this. We laughed with this. We grew up with this. Why abandon it now? One afternoon, I mailed a care package back home. Inside, I placed a bottle of banana ketchup. My mother called me days later. "What is this?" she asked. "Just try it," I said. There was a pause. "Oh," she said slowly. "That's actually good." I smiled. Weeks later, I watched her put it on chicken nuggets. That's when I realized banana ketchup had done the impossible. It crossed cultures. It didn't try to explain itself. It didn't demand approval. It just existed, patiently waiting for someone to taste it with an open mind. And maybe that's the real lesson. Filipinos eat banana ketchup not because they don't know better, but because they know themselves. They know what carried them through hard times. They know what reminds them of home. Americans question reality because we're trained to doubt what doesn't fit our expectations. We fear the unfamiliar. We laugh at what we don't understand. But sometimes the unfamiliar is an invitation to learn, to taste, to listen. Banana ketchup taught me that culture doesn't need to make sense to be meaningful. It just needs to be honest. Now when I see that bright red bottle, I don't think of bananas anymore. I think of candlelit dinners, of children laughing, of history squeezed onto a plate, of a country that turns scarcity into sweetness. And every time I dip my chicken into it, I taste more than sauce. I taste survival. I taste family. I taste the quiet genius of people who didn't wait for permission to thrive. And honestly, I don't question reality anymore. I pass the ketchup.